You have a channel?
Yeah, we're doing some interviews today.
I love your skin tone too.
Thank you. Such a good vibe.
Of course.
Well, awesome. So we're asking people's opinion today on Planned Parenthood. Are you familiar with them?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what they provide?
Yes. Abortions.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Safe abortions.
Okay.
Yes.
Do you know any other services that they provide?
I know, like, to teens, if you're under 18, you could get like birth control, condoms, counseling. They offer a lot of, beneficial things that the youth really should use right now.
Okay. So you have a pretty positive view of Planned Parenthood.
I mean, majority. I don't know. Is this like a yes or no? Am I wrong?
It's your opinion.
But yeah, that is definitely my opinion. I feel like, especially as teens, people get caught up in things that they really don't want to commit to for their entire lives. So if you get caught up with the wrong guy, you think you're in love, and then boop, now you stuck. Not stuck, but you're stuck with a baby for the rest of this time, literally the rest of their lives and your life, if you're that kind of mother, because some women just don't have it in them and they abandon them and abuse them and all kind of shit. And it's like, girl, just get rid of it if you know you're gonna do that.
Get rid of them. Why not just give them to another family? That's good.
No, but exactly, even that, and that's another option that Planned Parenthood offers. So it's like, if you know that you are not the being who can provide for this child, then there are alternative options out there for you. So I think Planned Parenthood is a space that creates something that's safe for women, especially teens, Black and Latina teens especially, because it's free. You can call them, go to them. I know, because I've worked with the Children's Aid Society for a long time, so we kind of aligned with them. But yeah, I feel like, if as a woman, pro-choice is your option, because men, if they want to just get up and go, they can, honestly.
They shouldn't. But
They shouldn't. They never should. I grew up with 2 sets of grandparents and my parents, and please, everybody, lives like happily ever after, but not nobody else, but a lot of people do not experience the same kind of lifestyle or childhood that I grew up with, having 2 parents and grandparents and people to look up to and things like that. So I definitely understand why people do abort children. Don't have babies that you don't want. Don't have babies that men are telling you in front of your face that they do not want. I wish them would stop doing that. Like, it's like a plan to.
Why don't they just stop having sex with people they don't want to have a child with?
That too. Or to just don't have unprotected sex. Be smarter about your choices. Get on birth control. There's so many options, especially if you're like a teenager, especially in New York City.
Okay.
Children's Aid Society, please reach out to them. They do a lot of free counseling, a lot of free clinical work, STD checks, abortion, all kind of things that you can go to, speak to someone about if you aren't really sure before making the final decision. But to me, it's always pro-choice, your body, your life, because that baby is gonna be a baby.
It's a baby.
Yeah, and you're gonna have that baby
person.
forever. So yeah.
Well, do you know that Planned Parenthood gets nearly $700 million of our taxpayer money every year?
$700 million. I mean, honestly, I can't go against Planned Parenthood. I just can't.
Okay.
I just can't.
You think that's a lot of money?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a lot of money, because if we're being honest, Elon Musk, he can literally stop world hunger twice.
Sure, but we're talking about Planned Parenthood, they could stop world hunger. I mean, $700 million a year. Imagine if you made $700 million a year, where you'd be at in a decade.
$700 million for how many single mothers?
Of our money. But they're not giving it to single mothers, though. Yeah.
I mean, if we're going to just, single out where it is that our tax dollars go, then the police, respectfully. They beat on us. I'm a Black person, as Black people, they beat on us, they murder us, abuse us even now with Trump pushing the immigration deportation. That's bull. Because there's people who are here who've been immigrants 55 years, who work every single day, get up, provide for their families, and haven't seen their own parents in 30 years. And now they come to this country, they build a better life, they can't even make it to go back home. Like, now they're gonna get deported, they gotta leave their children. Like, it's so extensive. There are so many other issues that we need to worry about as far as women's bodies and their rights. It's crazy. But as far as being a woman in any city or any state or any country, you should have the right to decide what you want to do. I shouldn't be forced to raise anyone's child because the state feels like this is what's beneficial. Oh, we need to be producing more children. There's such a loss in reproduction. We don't have money. There's no finances for reproduction. Like, this is why you go and you get an abortion, because I don't have
just like how you said we shouldn't be forced to raise other people's kids. We shouldn't be forced to pay for other people's abortions, because half the country, they don't believe in abortions, whether that's for scientific reasons, for religious reasons, and we should respect that, right? If you want to go get a procedure, then you should be able to pay for it. Do you agree?
Not necessarily.
Or somebody else should pay for it.
Now you put me up in the air, because saying that we're paying for a procedure is like, you want to get a BBL and my taxpayer dollars are paying for your silicone. That's different.
How is it different?
As opposed to be me being a 14-year-old girl in the Bronx who's gone through any kind of molestation, rape, anything. You really don't know what people go through. And I need to abort this baby, and I don't have the right to, or I don't have the funds to, or I don't have the means to at all. Nowhere to go. There's no Planned Parenthood. There's no Medicaid. There's no anything that's beneficial to a younger youth, especially someone who's afraid to go to their parent. You can't go through your insurance. It's a lot. So to me, there's a difference in that, because taxpayer dollars pay for police, who are still corrupt, pay for doctors, who should be paid more because they literally save lives every day, should go to nurses who put their lives on the line in emergency rooms, on the streets, who are literally legally obligated to do so. It's like, why aren't they getting the money as opposed to us providing the money to the billions that we just supported in the Ukraine?
Every Planned Parenthood has donors as well, because they're a 501c3. So if you want to donate to Planned Parenthood, that's totally fine. You do that with your consent. But the issue that I think a lot of Americans have is that they don't believe in abortion, or they just don't believe in paying for other people's medical business, and they're being forced to through our taxpayer dollars. So it's really interesting, because since 2010, prenatal care has been down for 80% since 2010 at Planned Parenthood. Adoption referrals. So this is why this is research straight from their yearly report of 2022 to 2023, I believe it is. And so they're a 501c3. They have to tell us what they do every single year. So this is straight.
Which should be any union corporation. If we are paying tax dollars towards you, I need to know that you are doing the job and doing it correctly.
Right. But let me continue to tell you. So the STI testing and treatment down 15% since 2019. Client numbers down overall 34% since 2006.
Nobody has insurance. I don't have insurance.
Donors down 21%. Contraceptives down 44%. Breast screenings, manual breast exams down over 80%. And you mentioned adoption. They commit 228 abortions for every one adoption referral. So why are they getting so much more money, yet all of their services are going down?
The services are going down because people are afraid.
What are they afraid of?
Women don't know. They don't know what they're exposing their bodies to. A lot of people, especially behind abortion, there's a stigma that if you get an abortion, you can never have a child again. So it's like a definitive decision. And this is the whole point.
There's a chance that you can't, because your uterus can be perforated, but their abortions are going up. So they used to have this slogan where they said safe, legal, and rare. That's what we want, safe, legal, and rare abortions, until it was exposed that a lot of these facilities were requiring abortion quotas. So the more abortions each facility did, the more praise that they would get awards. And so it's really interesting. That doesn't really make it seem like they want safe, legal, and rare abortions.
As a New Yorker and a woman, I will say I have never gotten an email that was promoting an abortion, that was saying if you need this, it is safe. This is something that we offer as a city, as insurance, as any kind of taxpayer, as any kind of beneficiary of what it is that we're paying towards. So from there, it's like taxpayer money. We don't know where the this money goes at all. Any of us, honestly, unless you're really into your politics and you're digging in the books. No,
I'm into it because that's a lot of money being taken,
I'm sure it's a lot
and
of money.
It looks like it's going toward abortions. Which if they're called Planned Parenthood, why are they not making it so that you are planning your parenthood, not just then ending it with an abortion?
Baby, how much money is Planned Parenthood supposed to give you every month, every 2 months, every 3 months for a child? The child care tax doesn't even cover child care.
Well, they don't do that, but pregnancy resource centers do.
Absolutely not. You're going to get a portion of the funding that you need. Similac a can is $43. $43 for Similac. In New York City on 126th Street, you're already paying $2,500 in rent to stay wherever you are. God forbid you don't have food stamps or WIC. Without any kind of governmental support, people would literally be like offing themselves because there's nothing else that you can do. Yeah. You can drop your child off at a fire safety. Just leave them at the fire.
Why don't we do that? Because there are over 2 million families waiting to adopt in America.
How many people can you think or are you going to assume will literally abandon their children with no repercussions from the state?
No, it's called safe haven baby boxes. We're at a fire station or hospital. You can leave your baby and the mother doesn't have to do anything with it. But that's better than killing her baby through abortion, right?
No, ma'am.
It's not better to give your baby up to a family who wants them instead of killing them?
No, ma'am. I have seen so many stories and countless, literally, like countless stories. My grandmother used to teach health and safety classes for people who wanted to become daycare providers. And we've seen so many instances where it's just, I can understand, I could love you today, I love you to death, you're my baby. But as a teen mom, as a mom who's on her own, you have no support. You constantly have to provide. You're here day to day, day and out. It's just, it's crying, it's screaming, it's crying. You have nowhere to turn to. Now I stand you up and I shake you and I kill you. When I could have just not had you in the first place because it was never my plan.
You think that teen moms who struggle will end up killing their children after they're born?
Girl.
I'm trying to follow along with your story here.
I'm saying that there's a higher percentage of people who murder their children on accident out of frustration because they don't have the support, especially in communities like this where there's no funding, where there's no programs, where we don't have
shaken baby syndrome, where they shake their baby.
It could be SIDS, but SIDS still also applies to you even laying your baby down on their back and they turn over the wrong direction. They will literally pass away.
Well, yeah, but that's like a death that was going.
It wasn't preventable.
It was
not no.
But what is preventable?
SIDS is not preventable.
Well, actually, a large percentage of the children who die from SIDS had a vaccine the same day. So that's another thing. That's a whole other story.
That's a whole other topic with the vaccine.
But I will say to you, like
sudden infant death syndrome, and there have been over 80% of infants who have passed away from it, and it's simply from not laying your baby on their back to sleep.
And that's horrible, but I mean, 1 million babies are also dying a year from abortion.
Again, don't know that. You can die. What's the percentage of women dying from birth? For children that they don't even want, or the men don't even want, who are already refusing to provide for them prior to them even being born. So now
it doesn't matter if they're
be a single mom or put my body through this entirely different experience to at the end of it give them up and go home like nothing ever happened. That doesn't make sense to me, as opposed to you being put to sleep, boop boop, take the baby out. It's like you start over.
You don't, because we see post-abortive women and how they deal with abortion, and their chance of turning toward drugs and alcohol skyrockets. They have problems.
What percentage is that? What percentage is that?
Well, I don't have the exact percentage, but I believe it goes up 150%.
And boot there, girl. And you had the facts.
Do you know what happens in an abortion?
Yes.
What happens in an abortion?
They literally suck the life out of you. They're going to take the whole baby out. And as they should, because I shouldn't be a taxpayer paying child support and food stamps and WIC for women.
You should be a taxpayer paying for abortions?
Exactly. But as for a woman who didn't want the baby in the first place, that doesn't make sense to me. If you told me from the get-go, I can't do this, I don't have the funds, I make $20 an hour in McDonald's, and I live with my mother, and I'm pregnant with twins, and the father told me he doesn't want them.
Why is that the baby's fault?
Exactly my point. You think I should still follow through with this pregnancy?
Yes.
Why?
Because that baby has a life.
That's dumb. Bring 2 more kids into this world that nobody wants.
I want them.
80%. How? You gonna take everybody's baby?
Yes,
that's
I will.
80%, baby, that are 80% more likely to get put into the system, molested.
Where is that statistic from?
Girl. With no parents, what do you think the likeliness is of you being molested? Let's Google that right now. Literally. Because your stats
that's
aren't
not
making
the
sense.
fault of pro-lifers, though. That's the fault
not
of
the
people
fault.
that are
That's the fault
molesters.
of people who are not pro-life. That's the
people that are not pro-life want abortions.
That's the people who are pro-life, because you're going to say, I don't
want people molested.
I don't give a fuck about you before you're here, so why would I give a fuck about you when you're born?
I care about both.
Because 98% of the time, it's the male who's going to say, we never decided this. This was never on my plate.
You decided it when you laid down and had sex.
You're going to turn around and decide, I'm going to have this baby after this man already told you, I don't want this baby. I don't want to be with you. I'm not going to provide. And you proceeded. Now he looks bad?
Yeah, so my dad didn't want me, but my mom
crazy.
didn't kill me just because my dad didn't want me.
But and that's her choice.
No, it wasn't her choice.
That is
because
her
it's
choice.
that was my body inside of her body.
Abortion.
It wouldn't have been
That's the
unsafe
whole
because
point.
I would have died. How is an abortion
Exactly.
safe if a baby
Girl,
dies?
you're an embryo.
Yeah, an embryo of what?
Of nothing, really.
Of a
because
human.
An embryo, no, you
It's
don't
just a
even,
stage of human development.
You do not even have any kind of limbs yet. You don't even feel physical.
Some people
pain
that
if
are
you go
born
in the
don't
right
have
direction.
limbs. Some people that are born are
You
paralyzed.
have to know what you're doing. You need to just protect yourself if you can.
Yeah.
And honestly, don't have babies with people who don't want to have babies with you. Because people.
But when you're pregnant, you already have a baby.
That you need to be pro-life, and you don't. Don't ever sit here and lock yourself down with a man who already told you he doesn't want to be with you. He doesn't.
I
want
agree
to
with
provide.
you.
I'm not disagreeing with you either. I understand.
You don't get to kill the
But what I'm
baby just
saying
because
is
their dad didn't
that
want
you
them.
can.
Should we kill the kids in foster care? And
Why not?
That are,
Why not? If that's the case,
we should kill the kids in foster care that aren't wanted.
who's going to take care of them? I need to know the percentage of people who take children from foster care and abuse them and molest them, who make them like personal slaves.
We should just kill them.
Statistics before you come to me talking about pro-life.
We should kill the victims of molestation.
I think, what does this have to do with molestation?
You just mentioned people
What I'm
molesting
saying
children.
is,
We should
in
kill the kids in
general,
foster care is what you
overall.
said.
What I'm saying is, in general, overall, if I don't want to have a baby, I should have the choice to
Just don't have
the
sex
baby or
then.
not.
Just don't have sex.
That's not even logical. You
It is.
Dumb as
It
like,
is.
Who are you, Nancy?
I sound dumb.
You
sound
do.
dumb as Okay.
It does, because even as teens, people explore, and it's like, as funny as you want to be,
well.
people should still have the choice. I don't give a if it's, oh no, oh it was a mistake today. Oh my God,
Do you believe in God?
Option to get
Do you believe in God?
abortion?
Do you believe in God?
Yes,
Do you believe God makes mistakes?
yes,
He does.
of course. Everybody makes mistakes.
But God is perfect. Are you a Christian?
I never said that.
Are you a Christian?
I would never say that.
Are you a Christian?
My family's Christian.
So you're not a Christian.
I guess.
You guess what?
Based off of what's going on and I guess my lineage is Christian. I wouldn't say that my full belief is a Christian belief. There's no abortion. You have to stay married. If you're pregnant with that man, you have to be married. There's so many like restrictions and constrictions when it comes to religion that is.
There's a reason for that because it protects people.
But that's dumb as because religion is all hearsay, baby. All you listening to is a Bible that somebody else told you, somebody else wrote.
Nobody told me. I've literally encountered God.
So you spoke to God and He told you everything in the Bible. Shut the f- up.
He
You
first
sound
spoke
dumb
to me.
You sound dumb as f- Listen, there's a thing called cosmopolitanism, which literally is saying there's this one big glorious story that combines all of the religions. Because if you read the Bible, you could search into Buddhism, being a Muslim, anything that you need, they all kind of provide the same story in a different version. But it's still all hearsay. It's all hearsay. It's all, my auntie told me, my niece
My
told
auntie
me,
didn't tell me.
My auntie told me. You think these biblical writings are all just, what, off the brick? Like, you can't be that naive.
There
I
are
see
over
that you're a
40
smart
men
woman.
that actually
Come
wrote
on
the
now.
Bible.
Oh my God, you one of those. You
That's just the history. That's just the history of Jesus Christ and the Bible.
It's not. We started from Pangea.
So what does the
We started
Bible
from Pangea.
say about human
It's
life?
The Big Bang Theory. Our entire life is science and math, and I think you're
an
idiot
atheist
if you don't think it is.
So you went from saying that my outfit was really cute to saying I'm an effing idiot. That's so mean.
But I think that
You
your
did.
point of view is very obstructed, and I think that you just don't understand the magnitude of having a child.
Yeah, well, I'm not the one who admitted they would be okay with killing babies in foster care and killing children that have been abused.
That's not the point. What I'm saying.
That's really.
Stop telling me.
What's wrong with you?
Stop telling me. Stop my.
Oh my god.
She attacked my wife.
Your wife just attacked me.
She just punched me in the face. We were just doing a street interview with my camera and everything was fine for over 20 minutes or however long we were filming, and then she just punched me in the face.